All right, so we're going to simplify these in our calculators. These numbers are really big, so we're going to use our calculators for these. Now, you really have to practice these in your calculators because there's common mistakes people make, and I'll try and point some of those out for you. All right, when I type this into my calculator, here's how it's going to look. There's a couple ways of doing it, but I personally like to type it in like this: 4, and then I do parentheses, 729, and then I hit the exponent button, the caret, the one that looks like this. Now, if it puts it up into a little box that looks like this, okay, you could just write in 1/3, and it will put up in the exponent for you, -6, and you'll get an answer of 30, which is absolutely correct. However, if your calculator does not do the fancy exponents, okay, it's maybe an 83 or a slightly older version of an 84, it's going to look something like this: 4, parentheses, 729, close them. You're going to see that caret button on the screen. Then when you type in the 1/3, you got to open parentheses, 1/3, close them, -6. And then you should still get 30. So let's talk about this 1/3. So we talked about it a little bit before, but I think it needs to be readdressed. So raising to the 1/3 is the same as the cube root. Raising to the 1/2 is the same as taking the square root. So raising to the 1/4 would be the same as the 4th root. So we can apply that on this next one. And that goes so on and so forth with nth roots. Remember we talked about that in the first video here. Nth roots, meaning like the 3rd root, the 4th root, the 5th root, the 6th root. You can always write it as an exponent fraction. So raising, taking the 5th root would be to the 1/5. Taking the 6th root would be to the 1/6. All right, so let's type this one into our calculator. See if we get the same answer. Alrighty, so this is what you should look like in your calculator. So we've got -1/3 times 1296 raised to the 1/4 times 2 minus 20. Now if you have an older calculator, it's going to look something like this. You could still have the -1/3, then the 1296, then the exponent, 1/4, then times 2 minus 20. And that's going to still give you a -24. Another side note, you could take this guy right here. If you hit alpha and then the y equals, you can choose like n over d, or if you hit math, then there's another option to do, it looks like n over d, and it will allow you to, with a box, this is only on the newer calculators, it's a terrible box, to type in -1/3 as your fraction, but it'll give you a couple of boxes that makes it nice and easy. Up to you. I usually just do it this way because it's really quick. I don't have to go into any other menus. Alrighty. Those are so much fun, aren't they?